I usually have a lot of skepticism towards direct-to-streaming movies, but I can give credit where it's due, Netflix. There was a lot about The Rip that seemed appealing to me. I saw the announcement, Joe Carnahan directing, I like plenty of his movies, Matt Damon and Ben Affleck playing these cops who come across a stash house full of all this money. Okay, sounds like it could be interesting. Then you see the final line of the announcement, releasing on Netflix. Anytime I see something like that, releasing on Prime Video, instantly kills excitement, because so many of those straight-to-streaming movies are not even necessarily the worst, but the most forgettable, the most we need something that people will just turn on and keep on. They don't have to pay attention to it, they don't have to like it, they don't have to remember it, it just needs to be on, so we need to make it. We need to make content for the sake of having content. So it really kills so much of my excitement when I see these movies going straight to streaming, and so I was wary about how this would actually turn out. But it's actually quite a bit better than I thought it would be. Not as good as it could have been, but it's a solid time actually. So you got Matt Damon leading this task force. They come across this house. It has $20 million stashed away in it. And there's a lot of tension here as most of the movie takes place in and around this house, which I really like. I like movies that can have like these contained elements to them. And a lot of the intrigue here comes from, what are they going to do with this money? Which members of the team are going to want to take this money for themselves? And even if they don't, who does this money belong to? Why are they keeping it here? Are they going to be on their way? What is going to happen to us now that we found it? The movie starts with who was the team's captain being killed, so we know there's already some shit going down, possibly even some betrayal from within the team, and so from the get-go, we know there's a lot of danger here. And it's a great cast. Matt Damon and Ben Affleck are really good together. Matt Damon is just like so inherently likable that you really want to trust the guy, but he's also being presented as potentially very shady throughout the movie. Like, he might have motivations for why he would want to take this money for himself, and like, I'm fighting against my urges. Like, I want to trust Matt Damon, but I don't know, man, it's looking kind of bad. And Ben Affleck at the beginning is kind of treated like he might be the more wild member of the team, the one who doesn't have much regard for the rules, but then as the movie goes on, it kind of starts to change your perception, so you're not entirely sure who exactly you can trust. And the rest of the team, you got like Steven Yeun, Tiana Taylor, Kyle Chandler. I didn't even know any of them were in the movie, but it's a great cast. So you have all these different characters who might have their own motivations, and you don't know what's going to happen with this money. That's where a lot of the tension comes from. Who might betray who? And it's not really the movie I thought it would be, because I expected it to be a larger scale. I expected this to only be the beginning and they take the money and then we proceed with the fallout from there. But like I said, it's more of a contained thriller in this one location. And I think that really works for bringing out the drama from the characters themselves, leaving us wondering what is possibly going to happen here. I was more engaged by these characters and this plot and even the look of the film compared to other straight-to-Netflix movies that you often see, like this dirty, grimy house that they were stuck in most of the time. I do think the movie loses steam. I think it actually gets worse as it goes on, as a lot of the answers are revealed to us. For a couple reasons. One, it's extremely predictable. A lot of the intrigue comes from all the tension. What are they gonna do? Who's gonna turn traitor and why? But when you actually get the answers, it's like, oh, I hoped it would have been more surprising than that. I'm not gonna outright spoil anything, but I'm gonna explain the setup to you. And you're gonna get it just from the setup, because it's so obvious. You can't even spoil it, because it's so obvious. I'm just gonna say that if you have a recognizable actor who comes on screen near the beginning of the movie for like 2 minutes, basically just to say, hey guys, just letting you know I am also in the movie, and then they leave. Gee, I wonder what role that character's gonna play when they return at the end. And when you have that character in a role like, oh yeah, I'm on my way, you can totally trust me, the guy you think is the bad guy, for sure he's the bad guy. I totally ran a check on him, he's the bad guy. I, however, can be trusted and I'm on my way, don't worry. I wonder. Jeez. So at the beginning, I really had hope that they would be able to pull off some more interesting twists and backstabbings and all of this stuff. And it's just like, oh, literally the most obvious thing possible. Okay. And also by the end, it turns out to be way more black and white than it initially seems. So much of the intrigue came from the presumed moral grayness of some of these characters. How far are they willing to go? Which lines are they willing to cross? And you not really being sure. But then by the end, it turns out, oh no, okay, we have clear-cut very good guys and clear-cut very bad guys, and that's it. And that's just way less interesting. The twists make sense. They work. There were even a few little surprises in there. And so even as I'm watching all these things play out, I'm still entertained by these actors, by some of the action. You got car chases, you got shootouts. It's still a fun little action film, but it becomes more mindless. Whereas at the beginning, it had potential that it set up for it to be more mentally stimulating, more engaging, more about the character drama, and it became more about good guys gonna shoot bad guys, and that's still fine. It's just a bit of a letdown from what it could have been. So it's a bit of a shame. I was surprised how engaged I was by the first half of the movie. I was feeling a good amount of tension. I was into it. And then by the end, I was like, okay, this is fine, but this is feeling more and more like a streaming movie. But it's solid. It's the kind of thing I'd recommend, like, to my dad. And there can be good things that come out of partnerships with Netflix. I read an article where Damon and Affleck got a deal where if the movie performs well on the platform, they've agreed to give like an extra bonus to like the entire 1,200 person crew who worked on the movie. So, you know, you can work with Netflix and get people paid. That's nice. Still don't want them to own Warner Brothers though. That's a whole mess going on right now. Don't want Paramount either. Shit's weird. But anyway, a solid like 6 or 7 little thriller. You know, not something incredible because of the way the plot actually unfolds, not being nearly as interesting as how it started. But if you just want to turn something on Netflix that's a little bit more engaging than some of the more disposable action fluff that's on there, this one's all right. But leave your thoughts in the comments. This was all just my opinion, so let me know what you thought. Did you see these twists coming? Did any of it surprise you? Did you get engaged with these characters? How did you feel about it overall? Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more from me. I appreciate it, and I hope to see you next time.